welcome to the Buckhorn Podcast. This is Martelle, and with me always is Randy. What's up, Randy?
What is up? I love how you started stretching right in the middle of the intro.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of a thing. It's like, oh, what's up,
here
guys?
for an hour and a half and time to stretch.
Hey, what's up, Randy?
Oh, man, another day. You made it through the week and you're back on the weekend.
I know. Now I got to work towards getting through this week so we get back on the weekend again.
Do this again next week.
Yeah, because I didn't get anything accomplished this weekend that I was supposed to.
I'm trying to think. Well, yesterday I did. I went up to Steve's and worked on this 69 Volkswagen Bug again.
Yeah, did you get those brakes on?
He decided once he found out that to switch the disc, you'd have to upgrade more parts, like the master cylinder and whatnot. He was like, let's just get the drums working, because he has new drums and everything.
Okay.
So I was like, fine, screw it. So what it really needed was the new brake lines. One of the rubber lines had collapsed, corroded.
Yeah.
So we got them all replaced, got them all working, got back together. Then it wouldn't start, which after sitting for 3 years, he did start it Friday night, and it ran for about 20 seconds.
But it ran 3 years ago.
And it ran 3 years ago. So it's not far, but yeah, we got that. That was Saturday, and then I went home, and I was just a sweaty mess, and I was like, you know what, Huck, me and you are going to the park. So I just loaded the boy up, dirty as all get out from working on a car all day, and there's a park out in the middle of nowhere at some school that I found, brand new looking park, and him and I just went out and was out there for an hour and a half until he got broke. He said he wanted to go home.
He's like, I'm out. I'm done.
Right. He tried to go down the steepest slide on his belly. Oh. He's 4, and the slide was like, I'd say a good 12 feet tall and pretty steep.
And he
started to, and he said, I can only do the small one on my belly. I said, try it. And he got down, and right where it bends to level out, he scorpioned hard. So he cried a little, but he did suck it up. And then we were driving home, and he said, Daddy, I'm too little to do it on the robot slide. That's what he called it because of the design on the slide.
Oh, okay.
So I can only do it on the small slide. So that was my Saturday.
Nice.
So yeah, good time with a friend. Got a car back together, almost running. And then spent some time with the boy. So good weekend.
And went to Habaneros again.
Yes. Oh man, if you guys haven't, I'm plugging these people like they're paying me.
I know they are not paying you. They're not paying. They should be. Hey, Habaneros, if you're hearing this, which you're probably not, you should be paying Randy to go and eat your food.
Have I said on here so everybody understands what Habaneros is?
It's a family restaurant that is what Chipotle should be.
It's such good food. It's clean. It's street tacos for $1.50, man. $2. You cannot go wrong.
No, you can't. You can't beat that.
Yeah, and then so we did have lunch at Habaneros. Well, the cool thing is Steve took me to a local breakfast joint, and I got a giant omelet and home fries and toast, which was actually, I think it was like $8. And it's all homemade, came out quick, great service, crappy coffee, but it's like you go to Waffle House or Bob Evans, just your standard restaurant coffee, right? And but it was a great experience. And then we went to Habaneros for lunch, and then here's the kicker: we went to leave Habaneros, and I ordered 4 street tacos to go. So Beth had 2 for dinner, and I had 2 for dinner, so I had it for lunch and dinner.
Nice. God. Yeah. I'm going to have to head over there at some point. It's hard to make it over there during the week. And
you just take a half a day off of work and head there and then come home.
Maybe I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Right. You got a meeting somewhere.
I'll just have to take an extra long lunch and head over there and pick some stuff up.
Yeah, it's great. I highly recommend it.
I didn't get anything done that I was supposed to get done this weekend. I was supposed to work on my deck.
Yeah.
Putting railings on the deck.
When I pulled up and saw the railings were now outside of the sleeves, I know they weren't attached last week, but I was like, all he did was take them out and lay them down.
Right.
He's got nowhere.
I had to go order some more stuff for the deck yesterday, which ended up being a gigantic clusterfuck of standing at Lowe's. Okay, guys, I need this part number. Well, what do you mean you need this part number? I need to look this part number up. Yeah, look this part number up, but this is the part number I need.
Right.
Okay. So that's a 6-foot section of whatever. Yeah, and it's in this color. It has to be this color. I need the bolsters in this color. They're charcoal black. But I need to know the difference in the aluminum versus the composite, because they're 2 different sizes.
Okay.
And the railing has a cutout, but it doesn't give the dimension for the cutout in the railing. I need to know what that dimension is, because your aluminum one is 0.75 inches and your composite is 1.418 inches.
And I guarantee you doing all that research and saying that, there was somebody standing behind that counter that just went, oh.
That's exactly. He's like, what? I said, look,
Lowe's is the Walmart of hardware stores.
These guys, you know, there's a reason I typically don't shop at Lowe's.
I can't stand Lowe's.
They don't. Some of the guys may know what they're doing. The guys I were dealing with had no idea what the hell was going on. And you
can't find employees in there either.
No, that was the other thing. So I ended up leaving yesterday pissed off because I still had more stuff to buy after I actually got through an hour later trying to order the stuff I needed to order.
Right.
I still had other stuff to go buy, but I couldn't find the stuff that I needed to get because I needed a box of Hex 5/16 6-inch galvanized bolts, washers, and nuts to go with that.
Yeah.
I needed wood screws and something else. I couldn't find any of that shit anywhere in the hardware section. I found individuals. I didn't need individual. I couldn't find an individual associate to help me. I walked up and down 4 or 5 aisles. Finally, I hadn't eaten all day. I was hangry.
Should have went to Habaneros.
I was pissed. I was in Lancaster.
Worth the drive.
Yeah, apparently.
Should have went there instead of spending an hour at Lowe's.
I just ended up leaving. I went to Taco Bell. It's not Habaneros.
Hilliard, Ohio.
Yeah. Well, I went to Taco Bell, Lancaster, Ohio.
Big difference.
Yeah, I ended up just leaving completely, and I'll probably run to Home Depot later.
Yeah, you got a kid behind the counter. Jim, this man over here said he needs this part number.
Oh, it was such a pain in the
probably
ass.
Didn't even know. With you coming to the part number, he was probably confused.
Well, because
probably didn't even know how to look up a part number. You did too much work for them.
I did his job for him.
Right.
Well, then there's 2 specialty parts that need to be ordered because, God forbid, I build my deck not square. My deck has 2 45-degree angles on it.
You've got a beautiful deck that is not simple.
Right.
It's not just a square.
It's
or
slightly
rectangle.
complex. And even then, it's not complex as far as some decks go. There's no rounded edges. There's nothing crazy.
One level.
It's one level. It's got 2 45-degree dog ear cuts on it. I said, I need 2 45-degree mounting kits. I know that it's not normal, but I need these kits. I don't have the part numbers for these kits, the model number for it. He looks them up. He's like, all right, got the model number right here. Cool. He shows me a picture. I'm like, yep, that's what it is. But he shows me the picture in gray. And I'm like, all right, yeah. Okay, just make sure that it's in brown. The hand railings in brown. I need brown. Yeah. We got it. Cool. I get home and I start looking through I start looking over my receipt and I realize he orders it in gray.
Right.
8 o'clock last night. My ass is back down at Lowe's.
You know how many habaneros trips you could have made in the time that you took with Lowe's yesterday?
4.
There you go.
So had to cancel that order because they can't just cancel and void out the one piece.
Of course not.
Cancel the order, refund everything back to a store credit, which involves a manager because it's over X amount of money.
Hey, Jim, I got another question.
Yeah.
I don't know why he has that voice. It's just what I picture in my head.
You know what? It's fine because the guy that I actually talked to, whose name was Gary, that's how he sounded. Which was not the guy that I was dealing with before.
Hi, my name's Gary. Hey, Gary. Jim, we got a question for you.
Yeah. So ended up, Gary didn't know how to use the system to place the order.
The manager, Gary, didn't know how to use the system?
Gary wasn't the manager. He's just an associate. He had to go get somebody else who said, yeah, I know how to use the system, but don't tell so-and-so I know how to use the system. He went through and placed the whole order. Gary's like, I won't tell them how to use the system. I don't know how to use the system either. I'm like, you guys get paid to work here? No, I don't know how to use the system either, but I just watched a guy use the system, and I'm pretty sure I could figure out how to use the system, and I've been here 5 minutes. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. We went to Lowe's a couple weeks ago working on my shop. I got a Lowe's gift card for my birthday. So I was like, let's get some pieces of this roofing material and these caps we need and whatnot. So Dad and I went, and the one piece we needed, which was like $14-15 literally anywhere in the nation, was like $45 per piece. And I was like, no. One collar. Mm-hmm. It was a corner for metal siding on a metal shed. A little corner piece. I said, no, there's got to be more. We looked everywhere, couldn't find it. We spent 15 minutes looking for somebody to help us and couldn't find anybody. I cannot stand poor customer service anywhere. But when I have to walk, we were in there for 50 minutes and I walked out with a fan. I didn't even go there for a fan.
Listen, that's the shit that drives me insane.
Yeah. And you walk into Menards,
They're all over the place. They're like cockroaches.
You're walking down a hallway with an associate, and another one will be like, "Hey, you all good? Because I can help you too."
Yeah, like, I get the same thing when I go to Home Depot.
Yeah. Home Depot's another good one.
They're everywhere, and you can tell who's an associate because they're all wearing orange.
Right.
I was in in Lowe's yesterday. There were 2 associates standing behind a counter. I didn't even realize they were one. I didn't realize they were associates. They were just having
Naked.
a conversation. No, they were just wearing street clothes, which everybody in Lowe's wears street clothes. They do the same thing at Home Depot.
Yeah, they wear the vest, though.
But usually they're wearing a red and blue vest.
Right.
Nope, not wearing red and blue vests. 2, not paying attention to anything going on around them.
Right.
3, not giving a flying shit about anything going on.
Would you say Lowe's chaps your cheeks?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to get my stuff in so I don't have to deal with it anymore. So I can go.
You won't go to Lowe's next time, will you?
No, I hate going to Lowe's.
Yeah.
But I'll be back to Home Depot later this afternoon to pick up my 2x8s and my wood screws and my 5/16 by 6 inch hex bolts and everything else that goes along with it, so I can finish trying to get these posts put in.
Yeah, being in Circleville, we don't have a lot of choices when it comes to hardware stores, so we have to go to usually Chillicothe. It's the closest to us.
Yeah.
Unless we're already in Columbus for work or something.
But there's a Menards down that way, isn't there?
Right. In Chillicothe, we have Lowe's. For the longest time, Lowe's was it down there, or local joints. There's a Menards there. Mm-hmm. So we have that. They actually just recently opened at Harbor Freight Tools too.
Ooh, so you can get stuff that you can buy and break and then buy it again because it's so cheap.
Everybody says that, and we get stuff that doesn't matter if it breaks. Like, I mean, we buy gloves there, goggles, things that I bought a case there, like a little tool case bag thing. But Dad bought they had 2 impact wrenches, air powered impact wrenches. And he bought the higher end. When I say higher end for Harbor Freight, I mean generic high end. It's like it's still the off brand, but it's like, hey, this one was made with parts that aren't plastic, and we haven't had a problem with it. But anyway, so yeah, we go down there, and every time Dad's like, let's run down to Lowe's, I was like, let's run to Menards, because we had a problem with the Lowe's in Lancaster where we tried to buy a toilet and the sign said $99, and then it rang up like $400,
and you're like, what?
And we're like, well, the guy went back and said, he said the paper slid down in the little stand it was in. At the very bottom in very tiny print, it said install price $99 for this like $400 toilet, and I was like, no. When you have to remove it to show me that's wrong, and they went back and forth and wouldn't give us a discount, which I wouldn't ask them for free.
Then
you
just leave.
We did. We left the toilet right there in the checkout line on a big cart. I got so mad. My dad is somebody that if you get him fired up, he will go all out and not stop until he has to. But he is a very well-mannered, humble, and patient man.
Like me.
Yeah.
Except not.
I mean, Dad, like, don't get me wrong. Dad'll go off when he needs to, but he was staying cool. He's like, okay, you guys are wrong. I'm saying, like, listen. Because by this time we had like managers like yelling at us, like, it's not our fault you didn't know. And I'm like, no, it is your fault because your sign was jacked up.
Yeah, your sign's not there.
So I was like, we're done with Lowe's. So the only time I go to Lowe's now is for work because we have business accounts there. And yeah, I'm not a fan. We got an Ace Hardware in Circleville now, which is nice because you walk into Ace Hardware and somebody could be ringing up another customer and they'll still take time to say, hey, welcome to Ace. What can I help you with?
Oh, yeah.
And I walked in the one in Circleville and instead of strip mall, and I said, I forget what I went for. I was like, I need one of those like extendable magnetic picker upper things when you drop crap behind the toolbox and can't reach it. I said, where are those at? Oh, aisle 7. Like they just knew. Aisle 7, halfway down, look low. And it's just that kind of, they know their job, they know their store, they can help you efficiently. I was in and out in under 5 minutes.
And that's someone who takes the time to understand.
Lowe's is the Walmart.
What's going on in their stores.
Right.
And what their product is and where things are located. And I think that's part of them needing to understand like what's going on in their store. I think that's a requirement. Lowe's is exactly like you said, it's a Walmart of home improvement stores. And
they're having fewer and fewer registers open. You go to Menards, you're walking down the aisle, they go out of their like little area and go out to the aisle, and if you're walking by like, are you ready to check out? Like, I can help you.
Yeah, they're like, hey,
they try to
you ready to check
in.
out? Let's go.
So yeah, anyway, I feel you on the Lowe's thing.
Yeah. Anyway, this episode is brought to you by Nika Coffee Grain Whiskey. This stuff is the shit. If you haven't had it, you need to go out and buy a bottle. It's not available in Ohio, though. Sorry, guys.
Hey, everybody listening, go out and get it, but you can't.
But you can't.
And when we say this episode's brought to you by that, Martelle literally means he poured him a glass because they have not given us anything.
Right. So
this is not a recommendation because money is going into his pocket. It is because he likes it that much.
It's because it's going into my belly and my liver.
Scotch.
Yum, yum, yum. Whiskey,
Down
whiskey,
in my
whiskey.
belly.
So... Speaking of that, we're gonna do something new today. I've got a little game that we're gonna play. We're gonna call it the Urban Dictionary game.
Okay, hold on. Disclaimer time. Mom, Beth,
anyone listening that knows
basically
Randy,
any female related to me, do not Google Urban Dictionary and start perusing that site.
Well, some of it's
just don't.
Some of it's relative.
Well, you have to say some of it. Like, I get it. There's some that's just funny.
There's some stuff on there
but there's some that's really not.
No, there's a lot that's
not
really bad.
Family friendly.
It's not even people friendly. Like, it should probably be removed from the internet altogether.
Right.
So
if they happen to be listening, I would recommend not going to that site on your own.
Yeah, don't go to that site. So how this is going to work is I have gone through and found 4 or 5 different definitions.
Okay.
Randy has no idea what they are. He doesn't know the name. He doesn't know what the definition is. I'm going to read him the term, the name, and he is going to basically just guess what the definition of this is.
But I know pretty much everything, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so he is basically a human urban dictionary. So this should be fun.
I'm a human everything. I was wrong once though.
So we're gonna let me see. I'm just gonna grab one at random here, and we'll just do a little test. So
is this one on your list or not?
No, this one's not on my list.
This is like a this is warm up round.
This is a warm up. This is easy. Louisville.
Louisville's easy. Louisville is where we talked about on a possibly upcoming episode where me and my buddies went down and spent a week between Christmas and New Year's, and my uncle got drunk and yelled at goldfish and cussed them out in front of kids. Louisville. Yeah,
that's close. It's the largest city in Kentucky with 700,000 people and another million or so in the surrounding suburbs.
Yep, there you go.
So that's right. On Urban Dictionary. I mean, that's not bad.
No, that's a legit definition.
That's a legit definition. Yeah.
I would not have guessed that. I really thought it would have been something to do with either drugs or something nasty sexual.
No, so that's, I mean, pretty simple game.
Okay.
Pretty simple game. So you're 1 for 1.
I'm going to get them all.
You're good. All right, so here we go.
Oh, man. Why did I all of a sudden just get nervous because of that crap-eating grin you just gave me?
Because I always have a shit-eating grin. Ready? So this one is Jangry.
Jangry.
Jangry. Jangry. It's like hangry.
You see, that's what I was thinking. The first thing that popped in my mind was hangry, which I'm definitely hipster with, because I swear I said that as a kid, and then now it's like everybody's on Facebook like, I'm so hangry.
Yeah, you emo assholes.
Just saying. Shut up. I said that before it was cool.
Yeah, so this is Jangry.
I said it when it was still uncool because I was very uncool as a kid.
You said it when no one knew.
Almost as uncool as I am now.
When no one knew what it was. You're like, don't you mean you're angry? You're like, no, I'm hangry.
Right.
Look at me. I'm
like, look
hungry.
At the size of me. Look at my huskiness. We have not had lunch yet. You don't get like this
by being just angry.
Look, we've been at school for 2 hours, and I have not had my 3rd breakfast yet, okay?
Right. Or my 4th lunch.
All right. So Jangry is, well, it's easy. It's when your favorite jeans tear right in the crotch because you're too fat and you sit down in your old truck and they rip. Your jean angry. Your denim is gone. You're jangry.
That is an amazing attempt at jangry.
That actually happened in my 78 Chevy K10. It was lifted, and I'd been working on the farm in some old jeans, and I thought, I got to stop by a couple of stores on the way home, and I went to hoist myself into it, and they split from my testicular region all the way down to my left knee. It wasn't just a little hole. It was a full-on, everything's flapping.
I think we have a new entry that we need to make to Urban Dictionary.
Jangry.
For jangry, but that is not correct.
Husky fellas understand, though.
Oh. That is I'm impressed. I am super impressed right now. That is not correct. but I am super
Yeah,
impressed.
that's your opinion.
I know, but we have a new.
All right, so what is the?
We have to submit that as a definition. It is being angry because you're jealous of something similar to hangry, but because of inadequacies rather than lack of food.
Well, that's what I said. I'm jealous of skinny people who never have to know what it's like to tear your jeans and just have your gentlemanhood flopping around while you're trying to go to the feed store.
I'll give you a quarter of a point.
I'll take it.
All right.
That means I'm not wrong. I'm just not all the way right.
Just not all the way right.
Told you.
All right, so quarter of a point.
I'm about to set a record today. I'm going to have to.
All right.
We'll have to do this in the future and see if I can't beat my record every time.
Oh, I'm keeping track. I'm writing it down.
I do it.
All right. The next one. The word is, or words. I'm thirsty.
Oh, well, I actually know what I'm thirsty means. It's when you've been hiking through the desert because you were large enough to get picked for a show called Fat Guys in the Woods. So they say, hey, you're going to hike through the desert. Good luck. Don't die. You get thirsty. It also means if you're in a more urban environment, that you are pining for an individual, typically one of a good physical physique and stature, and you want to jump their bones, so to speak.
Damn, Randy. Dead on.
Am I?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean,
told
it is, the definition is what a girl says when she wants the D.
Boom.
On it.
Got it.
Holy shit. That is a point right there
told
for
you,
you,
man.
bud.
I'm
That is a point. That
multi-generational.
is,
I know what the kids are down with. I am not a jive turkey.
you are definitely not a, don't call me Shirley. No one is going to get that reference.
Yeah, it's from Airplane. You know what's funny? I've never seen Airplane.
Oh, we're going to have to watch Airplane
I know
after
so
this.
many quotes from it, and I've seen clips of it. I've never actually watched it front to back.
All right. The next one. Mexican pancake.
Mexican pancake is what is called flan. It is a type of bread, or pita. It is also probably, I'm going to guess what Urban Dictionary actually means. Mexican pancake is not what happens when my cousin goes down to work on the mission field and gets a layer of crust under his man boob, and it just kind of solidifies after 3 days. A real Mexican pancake, according to Urban Dictionary, is going to be something involving sex in south of the quote unquote, in air quotes that y'all can't see, border, if you catch my drift. I don't know exactly what it is, but this is definitely a sexual one.
It is definitely a sexual one, but
So do I get like 0.2%?
no.
No? I'm not even close on this one anyway.
It is sexual in nature, but no, not even close.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
So far, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. When a man comes in a girl's face, lets it dry, then peels it off and feeds it to her.
I got nothing. I really hope if any female relative of mine's listening, they turned off a long time ago. Oh,
the look on your face is precious.
Okay, you guys can't see my face, and I can't see my face, but I know I just shut my eyes and shook my head for what felt like 30 or 40 seconds.
That's good.
Had I known that, and had I guessed that right, I probably would have been in more trouble for even than I am being on this show and discussing this.
So the sentence goes along with this one.
Okay, hold on. Seriously, every time something dirty comes up, I instantly think, like, is my mom going to listen to this?
I don't, because...
And here's the thing. My mom knows I'm a grown man, and she tells me, I'm proud of the man you became. I don't know why, but she is. And my mom and I now have a relationship where she realizes I'm an adult, and she knows 40% of the things I've done and said and do. but they have some friends whose names are Jay and Liz, and she often confuses the first letters of the name. And she said, yeah, sometimes I call them Jizz and Lay.
Ooh.
And what's funny was, in all of my sarcasm and wit, and people often say that, like, one of my best qualities is I'm funny and I'm fast. Like, with my wit, not with my moving.
Right.
So that's why they like hanging out with me. And to my mother, I said, that's really weird. She's like, I know, right? I said, yeah, because usually the lay comes before the jizz. And my mother started kind of laughing. She's like, I never thought of that. I was like, oh my gosh, I just said that to my mom. Oh, man.
That's good.
Anyway.
Yeah. I made my girl into a Mexican pancake last night.
I'm sorry, Jesus. Forgive me. We all need help. So how's your guys' Wednesday going? Having a good lunch?
Mine's great.
What are you having for lunch? Pancakes of any nationality?
Mexican pancakes.
Oh, man.
And salty blowholes.
Is that the next one?
That's the next one.
Wait, so can you have salty blowholes as a meal with Mexican pancakes?
I don't know, can you?
Oh, well, the way you said it makes me believe I can. But then again, you say stuff sometimes just off the cuff and don't even think about what you're saying.
Sometimes.
Oh, salty blowhole. It's got to do something with the with the human sphincter region, I'm thinking. Nope, I think I know what this is. And if it's what I think it is, I'm not saying it. I will let you read it, and I'll either say, yes, that's what I thought, or no.
Say it.
Nope.
Say
I'm
it.
not. My guess is going to be that it has something to do with the male ejaculation and an orifice.
Which orifice?
Well, originally I was thinking the sphincter region.
Okay.
But then I changed my mind.
All right.
I think it is more the man, there's just no way to have this conversation and come out looking good. I shouldn't have said it that way either. I shouldn't have said that. The male ejaculation in a vaginal region would be my guess.
Okay. And
has something to do with the pushing out of you know what? This is a good time for commercial break.
We don't have commercials.
Oh, we need commercials. That's what I'm. What I'm getting at.
We're not there yet.
That's what I'm going with. That's
this episode
my guess.
is brought to you by cream pies, oatmeal cream pies. Push one out today.
Which is my second favorite, Little Debbie. Oh my gosh, that's not how I meant that at all.
Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies.
All right, so next week we're gonna have to talk about like I don't know. We're gonna have to talk about butterflies and rainbows or something. Man, we went from some conspiracy theories to what fires us up, and now we just went off the deep end.
Oh, this is
gonna be
awesome!
the episode
I can't wait to do this.
This is going to be the one that everybody shares with their friends, and we're going to be known for talking about less than savory topics.
I love this segment. We're going to do this again.
So I had a good service at church this morning, and
I'm going to spend more time on this segment of the Urban Dictionary game.
Oh, this is going to become a running game, ain't it?
Oh, yes, it is. It is now. I'm going to spend more time on this.
But was I right?
You were close. You're like another quarter point.
Just a quarter? I feel like that's more than a quarter. What's the definition?
The definition is getting a blowjob from an old lady with a stoma. After she swallows, she covers her mouth and nose, blows the cum out of her hole in her neck.
No, I don't even want the quarter point. I feel so dirty right now. You said which orifice? How was I supposed to guess that? Neck hole. No, you don't have to demonstrate. I know. I don't need visual cues.
Well, there's at least 3. That I didn't mention the fourth one. I didn't mention the fourth one.
You didn't say man-made orifice.
Shouldn't have to.
Okay, next. Let's just move on.
All right. Well, that was the last one. We have a bonus one too.
Is that one coming now or later?
Oh, that one's coming now. This is the one
that's not the last one. It's not a bonus one if you do it at the same time.
Well, this is one that we discussed before the show.
Bonus round.
Snarfing.
Oh, I'm not even going to talk. You just read. Okay, so. Martelle read the first 4 words of this and started laughing like, that's too dirty, we're not going to do it. And then he read the whole thing, and then I
fell out of my chair.
And we did not get the reaction on, we weren't recording. So I'm just going to let you read it, and I'm going to take a step back and go sprinkle some holy water on myself and read my Bible.
All right. So I kind of wish that I would have left this for Randy to guess on. I just read the first up to the comma and then stopped. And I should have just read the whole thing and left it in for the game.
When you said snarfing, the first thing that popped in my head was it is an exclamation made by a fictional character named Pinky in an animated show called Pinky and the Brain.
Well, the first thing I thought, the first thing
says that.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I thought of was Thundercats.
Okay.
But then I read it.
I didn't. I remember Thundercats, but I was really young when I watched it, so I don't remember a lot of Thundercats. I had some of the action figures, and I remember the cartoon, and I had the T-shirts, but
there's a character
that's a little bit above me
named Snarf.
Okay,
and he says Snarf. Okay,
makes sense.
So I read this. I read up to the comma, And then I stopped. I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that one.
Okay, so just read to the comma first then.
So I read to the comma. The act of eating out another's butthole in a pig-like manner. That's where
I'm trying to hold my laughter.
I know. That's where I stopped. I'm like, we're not going that far.
Here's my problem with that. When you read to that part, every year for Christmas, since I can remember, except for last year, I did not get to watch it all the way through. I have always watched A Christmas Story. It's just one of those movies I have to see. It's part of the Christmas season.
Well, TBS does 24 hours.
24 hours, right? Well, now we don't have cable, but there's still plenty of ways to see it. It comes up on Netflix or Hulu or something. Right. Well, my wife cannot stand that entire movie.
Either does mine. It must be something with
the
name.
Simple scene. No, she's very open about this. Where Randy will not eat, not me, Randy, because I would eat all my food.
Right.
Randy would not eat his food. And he's making the little tower of mashed potatoes. And she says, can you eat like a pig? And he's basically just going ham, for lack of a better term, going ham on these mashed potatoes and meatloaf. Meatloaf, double meatloaf, right? She won't watch it because that grosses her out. Which is funny because like my wife will help skin a squirrel and clean guts out and cook it, but that grosses her out. Hey. So it's just one of those things. She doesn't like it, so we don't watch it. So when you say eating like a pig, that's the aggressiveness and the ferociousness, tenacity. I don't know what the words I'm looking for that I'm picturing.
Just get in there.
Get in there nice and deep black. Sound effects theater. You don't need a soundboard. You are your own soundboard.
I'm trying.
So yeah, okay. So that's up to the comma.
So that's up to the comma. So I'm going to start over, and I'm going to read the whole thing.
All right, go ahead. Clear your throat.
The act of eating out another's butthole in a pig-like manner, while Thundercats is playing in the background, and every time the character Snarf comes into the scene, you say Snarf and resume eating out. That is why I should have left it in the damn game.
It's so funny. It's the most ridiculous thing.
I know.
What drugs are people on that come up with this stuff?
It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Irrelevant.
It doesn't matter.
I don't get it. I don't remember the character Snarf. I don't remember Thundercats that well. I know of Thundercats. It gives a whole new meaning to the term Thundercats hoe. But I can't imagine doing anything with a significant other or a friend with benefits or whatever it is and having to pay attention to an animated television show from the 80s.
That's why you face the TV.
Or use mirrors? Or does the recipient act as a spotter?
They can yell Snarf too.
Oh, I hope Beth doesn't listen to this. This is going to be
it's going to be amazing.
Well, if we don't get feedback now, I don't know what'll do it. This one's definitely
going to catch a sponsor's eye.
Sponsor's brown eye. Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Oh well,
for everything I've said and everything I've thought while recording this.
I'm going to come up with intro and outro music for this now. Like this is going to be a new game.
Oh goodness,
you are going to be a reoccurring deep trouble.
Do like 1 or 2 an episode. I'm in tears over here. I shouldn't be. I'm trying real hard to be like hey, I don't joke around like that, but that one got me. I'm not gonna lie.
It's all in fun. It is so much fun. It's good. There's another definition in here for snarfing, which is the act of sneezing and barfing simultaneously.
Is that even humanly possible?
I don't know. I've sneezed and farted at the same time.
Yeah, snarting. Everybody snarted.
There's let's see. Oh, here's a definition for snarfing: when a person farts underwater in the bathtub or a pool and then bites the incoming bubbles as they float to the surface. I'm just scrolling down the page at this point.
I have never ever thought to myself, you know what? I really wonder what my fart tastes like.
This one actually happens in what movie is it? There's one of the movies with
Glenn Close.
No, it's
Chevy Chase.
Jay and Silent Bob. Maybe it's like Chasing Amy or one of those movies where the act of reaching inside of one's pants, following genitals prior to shaking hands with someone you dislike is also known as the second-hand penis. But it's the snarfing where he reaches down his pants, rubs his fingers on his butthole, reaches into his bag of chocolate-covered pretzels, and then hands over some chocolate covered pretzels.
And that's why you have to be very careful what you eat at a family reunion.
Right.
You never know who has whatever that.
I can't remember exactly which movie. Maybe it's Mallrats. I think it's Mallrats.
I don't know. Comment on our Facebook or something if you know.
That is
Help
gross
us out here.
It is it is a disgusting scene.
See, that's the thing. That's why.
Oh, here's a good one. This one's right
But
up
I'm still on the handshaking thing.
But this one's up our alley.
I don't know.
This one's right up
Don't say up our alley during this discussion, please.
Sniffing someone's seat or bike after they sat on it.
Ugh. I wonder if Garrett's into that. Hey, Garrett, can I sniff your bike seat?
Ew. And then
that's like no.
And then there's this one, which is more of cosplay. The act of participating in sexual intercourse while wearing Thundercats uniforms. Which Chitara was amazingly hot.
That was the chick cheetah thing,
She
right?
was the only one.
Okay, yeah.
She was the one who could run really fast and had the bow staff.
Okay.
And the nice set of tits. For a cartoon.
For a cartoon furry.
Or whatever.
Hey, whatever you're into,
it was a
Martelle.
bodysuit. I don't care.
Whatever you're into.
Whatever.
I'm not mad at you.
I hope not.
Here's the thing. It's kind of
there's
like
another one. An irregular or comical style of walking, most common snarf is a clumsy stumble.
Well, that
my
doesn't
God,
make
that
for
guy
good
is snarfing
podcast
his ass
material.
off. That's stupid. That should be deleted. Why did they even let that through?
Yeah. Well, it's not like these people are the most well-researched or reputable individuals, it seems like.
No, but I did try to submit something to Urban Dictionary a few years ago.
Big baby.
And it got deleted. I don't remember what mine was, but it was denied. I think it was, I tried to use my last name.
Martelle.
Guy
who lives in Ohio.
No, it was, I think it was actually the actual meaning of Martelle, which is a hammer. And they denied that. And I'm like, you assholes. But we're still going to play the Urban Dictionary game.
Oh, goodness. Here's my thing with the whole, well, first off, the handshaking thing after touching certain regions of your body. That's disgusting. If I ever find out somebody did that to me intentionally, even as a prank, I would probably knock them out and not feel bad at all.
They're going to
and then teabag them, and then they would be way worse off. Speaking of Urban Dictionary.
The chocolate starfish.
Here's the thing, and a comedian said this once, and I've heard several other people repeat it, but if you think about it, every single hand that you shake, there's a very high chance that it's held a penis at one time or another, male or female.
Yeah.
Very high probability.
At some point.
Next time you shake somebody's hand in Lowe's as you enter, which you won't because they're never there.
You can't find anybody to shake a hand.
But next time you shake hands, think about that. And here's the thing too, man. My mom raised us to wash our hands every time we went to the bathroom. Every time it was one of those, you wash your hands before you eat, you wash your hands when you come in from playing outside. You know, it wasn't a germaphobe thing just so much as you don't know what you've been into, and germs can be transmitted and they make you sick. Mm-hmm. And while I grew up fat, and I still am husky, I refuse to be disgusting and husky. You know, it's something like I showered this morning. I've been sweating this morning, and when I leave here, I'm going to my in-laws, and I'll probably be outside with the kids. I will probably shower tonight. I don't mind being husky. I refuse to be Jabba the Hutt, where there's just stuff emitting from my body and oozing from me. So the whole hand thing is something
Pizza the Hut.
Pizza the Hut, right? Just cheese dripping. Well,
you are so tasty.
Okay, well, sometimes I do have cheese on my body that I've forgotten about, but
saving it for later.
Right. The best is when you eat Chinese food and a week later find rice in your beard.
That's gross.
Hasn't happened, but it's still funnier if I say it has. No, but with the handshaking thing and the cleanliness, it's something that I often, when I shake hands, especially with some of my residents and customers, I wash my hands often or use hand sanitizer at least.
I usually just lick mine.
Your
right
hand,
in front of them.
Right
in front of them after we shake hands.
Well, if you do it after, I'd be like, well, there's a good chance he didn't do it before, but there's also a good chance he did.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a 50-50. And then the other thing with the whole furries and the being dressed as Thundercats, I'm libertarian with my sexual views too. You know what? If you and someone else wants to get down and you're into feet, or you're into certain positions, or you're into dressing like He-Man and She-Ra, or some other 80s cartoon character, or maybe it's Daphne and Scooby-Doo.
which right now
I really meant Shaggy, but I said Scooby-Doo. If you're into dressing like a dog and getting down, that might not be as okay. But my thing is, if you are not bothering anybody, I don't care if you want to snarf per that definition. That's between you and whoever else you're snarfing with. So, you do you. Don't tell me about it. I don't care.
This part of the show is brought to you by Netflix. Watch He-Man and She-Ra on Netflix right now.
Where's that commercial when I needed a commercial? You lied.
I know. No.
Oh, man. What are we on now? Where do we go from this?
I don't know. So we were having... Friday night, we were having dinner with some friends, and I had mentioned that I had unfollowed our friend, and she was...
Oh, are we about to get into a Chaps Your Cheek episode?
Vocally and physically upset that I had
so
unfollowed
you unfollowed
her.
Somebody that and you were having dinner with this person.
Oh, yeah. And I'm like, yeah.
And they were upset that you unfollowed them.
On Facebook.
Wait, they can't see if you unfollow them. Did you unfriend them?
No, I just unfollowed them. Like, I don't
How'd
see...
they find out?
I told her.
But
to be clear, I unfollowed everybody.
Right, you don't follow me
in April. I do now.
Oh, you do now?
So back in April,
sexy.
I unfollowed everybody on Facebook. Every single person I know, 500 and some people, I went through and unfollowed every single person.
That's like a project. That's why your deck's not done.
Right. Except my wife.
You live with her. You don't have to follow her.
I don't have to, but I unfollowed everybody, and then I turned on like timeline monitoring, so I had to approve everything that went on my timeline,
Right.
and I just did a bunch of stuff.
Basically, you got rid of Facebook without getting rid of Facebook.
Yeah, I basically left Facebook
You just made it
until
unusable,
like July, like June or July, end of June, beginning of July, sometime around my birthday. So
right, a couple months ago when we were kind of starting this.
Yeah, and that's when I came back. And I'm slowly starting to follow people again. But the way
you came back was incredible, because you came back and your first post was, "Hey folks, should I come back to Facebook?"
Right. It was like, "Hey, should I come back to Facebook?"
And everybody's like, "Yes, you should." And I'm sitting there like, "You dummies!" So he literally just made a post. Obviously, he's back.
I'm back. You guys didn't catch the joke, right. any of it. Like the whole thing was, "Should I come back to Facebook?" And that's the "Hey, I'm back." That's the joke. No one caught it
at all, and I didn't comment about it because I want to see how many people.
No one got it. I think you were the only person who was like, "Yeah, I got it."
Yeah, like, hey,
no one
made a post. Obviously, you're back,
and that's the type of humor that I have.
Okay, so anyway,
and we were having a discussion at dinner on Friday, and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't follow you."
You should have habaneros for dinner on Friday.
Well, we were at Christie's.
I'm so hungry.
We were at Christie's.
Okay. So you basically, what'd she say?
She was like, "You don't follow me?" And I'm like, "No. Why?" And I'm like, "Because I don't follow anybody. Like,
right.
There's maybe 60 people out of the 500 and some people I follow, and at this point, I don't follow, like," and her significant other's like, "You follow me?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, fuck it. I don't care."
Right.
I'm like, "But you don't," he's like, "Well, I don't post anything." I'm like, "Well, no shit. So there's no point in following you because you don't post anything, and
right.
I don't follow you because I unfollowed everybody, and I'm slowly starting to follow people."
Like, it's not personal.
It's not,
I unfollowed everybody except my wife.
Everybody,
500 people.
It wasn't like, "Oh, I selectively unfollowed people." I unfollowed everybody. Like the whole, like after the. So for those of you who don't know, I run another Facebook page called The Fit United, and after the Cambridge Analytica thing. Always plugging.
Right.
After the Cambridge Analytica thing, that completely screwed up I wouldn't call it a business model, but it did screw up how the Fit United functions with how I pull in Facebook events to the Fit United, because it is a Facebook-based calendar for pulling in Facebook events. It generates no money. It generates no income. It is a community. It is something that I do for the CrossFit community, that it is free and it is out there for the CrossFit community. And I put it out, and it's an automated service that it just pulls in all the events from all the CrossFit gyms and other gyms around. And after that Cambridge Analytica debacle, Facebook locked down all of the shit that allowed me to automate that service. So I can no longer automate that service anymore. So I was like, oh well, I'm done with Facebook. I'm tired of people with all their political nonsense. I don't give a shit what your political views are. I don't give a shit about your religious views. And that's all I was seeing on my timeline at this point. Like, whatever Facebook's algorithm is, I need to figure out how to reset it. And that's kind of why I just shut down everybody.
You got to tap into the matrix.
It's something, because all I'm seeing is, I love Donald Trump. I hate Donald Trump. Fuck you, atheist. I love atheists.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing.
It was all religious and,
I've always said that there are
stuff.
three things. No matter what, I could walk into a room, I would say, here's a room. You find however many people from however many different walks of life you want and put them in this room, and I'll go in and just piss off everybody. Because three things that even two people can argue about, if you talk long enough, are politics, religion, and sports.
Right.
Because if I sit here with a guy that's in, you don't care. But if I sit here with Hoop and GW and say LeBron James sucks,
oh
you
my
saw
God.
what happened.
Well, that episode, I mean, I just sat here. I mean, we got the video of it. I just sat here. I'm like, well, I'm the host. I mean, I'm the host. You're the host.
Right.
I just sat here and I'm like, I don't have to do shit at this point. We got a show going on. I'm just
listened to shows so far.
Right. I'm just going to sit back and watch this go.
If you sit here and say, if I sit here and say the Buckeyes are the best college team ever, there's going to be a lot of people that say, yeah, you could make that argument. There's going to be a lot of people that say, are you nuts? Anything in sports, and then you go to politics.
Even today, so let's even today with the whole Buckeyes thing. I mean, let's just stab that. Urban Meyer should be fired. Urban Meyer did the right thing.
Yeah.
Who's to say? He says some people say he didn't do the right thing. Some people say he did.
Lifelong Buckeye fan. I follow Ohio State football more than I follow any other sports team ball event.
Yeah.
Okay. I would follow curling more if it was on a bigger scale, but
well, it's just a bunch of fat guys that drink.
Yeah, which
on ice.
That may be why I like it.
It's almost like ice capades,
but with stones.
With stones and fat, overweight.
No, not in the Olympics, especially some of them chicks.
Did you see the American curling team?
They were all the backups.
They were the backup assholes. They were just guys.
They were like from the Elks
They were
Lodge.
just drinking out on the ice. They're like, hey, what's up?
From Minnesota.
Hey. Can we get Can we do some ice fishing here while we do
but
this?
Anyway, the whole thing with Urban, here's the thing. It's like I said with Tressel, it's like I said with Joe Pa. If they went through the proper channels and they did their due diligence, they shouldn't even be suspended. If they did not, they should be fired.
Well, even with the suspended part, the suspension part is just a piece that the school is doing.
Oh, it's just to get the media off their back.
Well, it's one to get the media off the back. It's one for the school to do their due diligence part.
Right.
It's all part of the process to say, hey, we're doing our part to do the investigation of our part to see.
There was a coach that went through this exact same thing at a much smaller school, and he didn't even get suspended, and he kept his job because they found out that he did. But during the meantime, he didn't get touched. Why? Because nobody knew him.
Right.
And I read this article about it. It's a political thing. It's because it's Urban Meyer and it's Ohio State. But anyway, this is my point, though. You can talk sports, and people will get. You're not even a sports guy, but you have an opinion on this.
I don't.
Everybody does.
Honestly, I don't give a shit one way or the other.
But you know what I'm saying. It's so you can start even there when you start talking politics. Obviously, Facebook right now, the election's been over. Trump's our president. I'm not real fond of it, but I don't want Hillary either. I think they're both complete idiots. But you know what I'm not doing? I'm not fighting people on Facebook over who our president is or how big of a freaking moron he is, or what he's doing good. And I think every president. Even here's the funny thing that Republicans and Democrats, I don't care what you are. That's your business. But when you sit here and say your president sucks because he did these bad things and ignore the good things he's doing, but then when it's your candidate, you only focus on the good and not the bad. They're all the same people.
Right.
Trump was a registered Democrat. Trump donated to the Clinton Foundation. People are like, Trump's the best Republican ever. And I'm like, yo, they're all politicians.
He's just doing what a politician would do.
Right.
And here's the other part of this. It doesn't matter, in my eyes, it doesn't, none of this shit matters at this point. He ran as a Republican. He was nominated.
Right. And that's our president. And I accept that.
He was elected as president.
Mm-hmm.
You can't sit here. You can go, not my president. No, he's your president.
No, he's your president. If he's not your president, get out.
You can't. And this is just, it doesn't matter if you voted for him or not. You cannot live in the United States, and I hate talking fucking politics because one, I don't know enough about it. So I'll be upfront. I don't know enough about it. I don't.
But that's the difference between you and everybody on Facebook.
I don't read enough about it, and I will not post enough about it. But I will stand behind. You cannot sit and say, and we'll get back to the Facebook thing in a minute. You cannot sit and say, "Not my president. Fuck him. He's not my president. This guy's an asshole. He's tearing the country apart." Maybe not, doesn't matter. That's beyond the point of what I'm trying to make. He is your president. He is the president of the United States. You live in the United States. He's your president, like it or not.
Right.
Whether you voted for him or not, you live in the United States. You need to stand behind your elected official.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Really, we need to stand behind each other.
Right.
At any level.
Exactly.
From president all the way down to peon.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. If you're in the United States military, whether you voted for the guy or not, he tells you you're doing something.
You do it.
Guess what? You're fucking doing it.
Yep, that's it.
Because
Bottom
why?
line.
He is your commander-in-chief. He is your boss. You go to a job, and your boss tells you to do something, and you're like, fuck you, I'm not doing it. Your ass is fired. On a military level, it's a slightly different level.
Yeah.
You're not just getting fired. You're getting a permanent mark on a record that other businesses are going to see, that are going to follow you forever.
Right.
It's not like you're going to go work at XYZ company, and I'm not even going to say a fast food company. We're just going to say, I'm going to use Nationwide Insurance. We're just going to use a business.
Okay.
You're going to use a business.
Nationwide is on your side.
They're on your side. But you're going to go work at Nationwide. You're mid-level entry manager.
Okay.
Okay?
Supervisor role.
Well, yeah, supervisor role. Your manager tells you to do something. You're like, yeah, I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. And your manager goes, you're doing that or else you're going to lose your job.
Yeah.
And you're like,
well, in that level,
no, I'm not doing that. All right, you're fired. That's not going to follow you to your next job.
Right.
Because you're going to go to another position at another company, and they're going to, well, why did you leave Nationwide? And you're going to go, oh, well, because of this. And you may lie, bend the truth, or whatever the case is, because
they'll blame it on the manager.
Because whatever the case is,
I want to do the right thing, and my manager trying to make me do something.
But even then, that company can't call Nationwide and say, why did this person leave, or why did you fire this person?
Right.
Because they can't say flat out, he didn't do what I said to do, because legally they're not allowed to do that. In the military, they can go, nope, he got Article 15 because he wouldn't do this. That shit follows you. So, he's your president, blah, 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 blah. Back to Facebook. Anyway, Facebook. I unfollowed everybody.
Right.
She got pissed. Well, she didn't get pissed. She was just like, oh, I can't believe you don't follow me. And I'm like, I just don't follow you. But
here's the thing.
I'm slowly following
she obviously
people.
didn't know for how long, because you've unfollowed everybody months ago.
I unfollowed everybody.
Why does it matter now? Especially with somebody you care enough about to have dinner with them in person.
Almost every week.
What? Oh, that's even worse. Unfollow her in real life. Then she can get upset. Be like, hey, I want to hang out with your husband, but not you.
Yeah, right.
Then it'd be like, okay, what's going on? But on Facebook, come on.
It is Facebook. It's the fucking internet. Who gives a shit? I mean, really, who?
This woman I don't even know just chapped my cheeks.
It doesn't, and honestly, it doesn't matter because I'm not on Facebook really that often. I mean, it may seem like compared to others, I'm not on that often.
Yeah,
I skip days. You're on there like 8-9 times a day.
Here's the thing. Let me explain. Because everybody's like, you're on Facebook all the time. A lot of stuff I share to Facebook. I don't get on Facebook and like scroll.
Oh, no, I don't scroll.
I don't comment a lot. If somebody comments on something or it's like one of the first or two in my news feed and I see it when I open Facebook, I might say something depending on who it is, but I, in the same way, I only follow certain people. So when I comment, it's somebody, usually it's very close to me, and it's usually some kind of joke, or I'm like jabbing at them, picking on them. But all this, people are like, man, you share the funniest memes. If I have a bad day, I go to your Facebook page just so I can laugh.
You should share that stuff on our page.
I have some. I keep forgetting. I need to be more of a team player than I need to be more of a Magic Johnson than a Michael Jordan.
You should share some of that stuff on our new Instagram account.
Oh, we have an Instagram at Buckhorn Podcast.
Yeah,
man, everybody should follow that.
Wow, that's a shameless plug.
Oh, it's absolutely shameless. I like the look you're giving me there. That was like a sensual look. He was caressing his cheek.
It might be the Nika Kofe grain whiskey I'm drinking.
Okay, so habanero should pay me, and your Japanese whiskey should pay you, obviously. But
well, we're gonna tag them.
Yeah, we are. And you know what? That's another thing. You just gave me a perfect segue into what chaps my cheeks.
Yeah, what chaps your
week.
cheeks?
You know what's really setting me off?
No.
friends not supporting friends.
You know
It's
what?
driving
That
me up the
shit
wall.
drives me fucking insane.
Here's the thing. I have a friend. There's a band called Big Kettle Drum. Look them up. They are a blues rock band that I have known. I've shared the stage with them 8-9 years ago with one of the bands I was in. They used to come to Ohio all the time under the name Fort Pastor. Fort Pastor was phenomenal. They had John O'Callo. If you don't know him, look him up on YouTube. Maybe we'll post a link for you. He is this Australian that played percussion, and he would have like a djembe between his legs. He'd have some kind of drum around his shoulder. He would play bass, have a whole kit in front of him, play the didgeridoo, like all at the same time. The dude is nuts.
How the hell you do that all at the same time?
He's Australian. That's how. He cut it, like he found a tree.
Isn't didgeridoo like the thing you swing around your head?
No, didgeridoo's like the long part. It's like...
I thought that was the thing you swung around your head that Crocodile Dundee did to make phone calls in the Outback.
I don't know. I'm not Australian. Oh, same sound. But
right, that's what.
If we post a link or look him up, you'll see what I'm talking about. He ended up getting married and going back to Australia. So Brant and Jeff just went on, and they call themselves Big Kettle Drum, and they've been plugging away at this music thing their whole lives. And they recently released a new album, and it hit number 3 on the charts. But the big thing was, Jeff was like, look guys, we've asked for help. Everybody says they're our friends, but nobody wanted to help fund this. Nobody wants to pre-order our CD. We get comments all the time about how great our music is, and this and that one is free. You guys come out and want to see us, but you won't if tickets are expensive. And what chaps my cheeks are, if we call each other friends, we should want to see and help each other succeed in life. And one of the greatest things that I ever saw was a stupid meme, one of those cheesy sayings, but the older I get, the more I realize that there's a lot of truth in it. And it said something like, life is not a race against everybody else, it's a race against yourself. If somebody else succeeds, even in the same industry, that doesn't mean you can't succeed.
Right.
So don't try and take them out. You're not running side by side in a lane. You are racing, you're not racing.
You're not racing at all.
No, you're racing a bicycle race. They're over there racing in boats. Right. They're not even competing against each other, even if you're in the same industry. So if it's a friend, you should support them. And he was just like, look, guys, I got to say, I'm kind of hurt. And at first I was like, dude, look, I can't always make it to a concert because I'm poor. I can't always afford to buy whatever I want. There's certain people do fundraisers, and I want to throw tons of money at them, but sometimes I can only afford $20 or $50. And I almost commented because at the same time, my cousin Jay that we've talked about was trying to raise money to go to Mexico to the orphanage that he's been at like 4 or 5 times now. And I talked previously about how he went down there for 3 months, left his job, left everything behind, left his apartment that he had for 5 years, and he raised money for another trip. But here's the thing. He funded his own trip. He wanted to raise $1,500 so their van could get new tires because their tires were about to be blown out. So he's trying to do a fundraiser to help nobody, not himself at all. And he even put $500 of his own money up front to raise $1,500 on top of his expense to travel down there to work for free to help disabled kids. And for the longest time, people weren't donating. Now he finally exceeded the goal, but at the same time that Jeff was upset about them not being supported as a band, a very good band. This isn't your kid's garage band where they can't play. These dudes can freaking play. They are amazing. Jeffrey's raising this. I'm sitting here going like, look, here's a cause. Why don't you donate to this? That's kind of my we're all trying to raise funds or awareness for something. But then I went, you know what? Jeff's right. And so I started sharing every link they posted. Like, hey, check out this video they just put out. Hey, everybody listen to this. And if it's the least I can do, it's click share on Facebook, because I do share memes off of Instagram, off of Imgur, all these different sites. Why can I not help my friends out?
Right. Well, and with that, so my buddy Jason up in Canville, Jason Giannetti, yeah, he owns a gym, and he has. I've seen him post it twice. It's about, you have friends. Why are you going to your friends and asking them for discounts on things? Why are you going to them and asking them? You're asking them for help, but you're not paying them for what they're worth. And I'll have to find. I'll have to see if I can find
most time, individual business owners, what they're asking is still not truly what they're worth.
Right.
That's why you go to them, because they're cheap.
Exactly.
And it goes with that meme I told you about. It's a picture of Michael Jordan holding an Air Jordan shoe, and it said something along the lines of, retired sports megastar earns $80 million a year, blah blah blah, pay full price. You don't go to a store and find Jordans and go, hey, I'll give you $20 for these, $60 for these, whatever. You pay the full couple $100,
right?
Then you have your Jordans, and then you get to act cool in front of everybody. And then the picture below it is this couple. It looks like at a bakery or some shop. I haven't seen it in a while. And it says, local business earns anywhere between like 25 to 100,000 a year, works 80 hours a week, blah, blah, and you go in and ask for a discount. It's somebody I know. Like, I should get a meal for free if my buddy owns a restaurant. No, you should be going, you know what? I want you to succeed. I will pay you, and I'll leave a good tip for your staff. It's ridiculous to me that we go out and about in life and we pay full price for it. I've never seen anybody go to Walmart, take up a cart full of $200 worth of groceries and go, you know what? I think I can get this cheaper somewhere else. Or, hey, I know you. You should give me a discount.
If I went to Walmart, I would ask for a discount.
Yeah, well. Anyway, you get my point. But that's what, we've kind of talked about this. We've gotten good feedback about this show. All I'm asking is somebody literally clicks share or goes, hey, 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, whatever you want. I'm not even asking for a good review. I'd like a good review. But leave feedback because that helps us, and it costs nothing.
Right, it absolutely costs nothing.
Not even a full minute of our time. So what I started doing, because I didn't want to ever bring this up or say anything and sound like I'm just whining about something. So now every single person I know that owns a business, I've started pumping their business. I've shared stuff on Instagram before. I've shared stuff now on Facebook, and I'm going to name some here, and I want you to name any gyms, anything you want to name. But I think we should be building each other up and trying to help our friends, because honestly, we're all in the same fight. We're all trying to make a living and raise families or whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, and to be honest, I talked about doing this podcast not as the Buckhorn podcast or Buckhorn podcast. I mean, as it's technically named, but this podcast I've been talking about doing a podcast for 7 years. I mean, if you go back 7 years on Facebook and look, I have talked about doing a podcast for 7 years. This podcast today with you and I would not exist if it were not for my buddy Mo from the One More Rep podcast. Right. I mean, Mo is the one who kicked me in the ass and was like, go buy this shit. Go get it done.
Right.
So do it. You've been talking about it.
So that's somebody with a podcast and similar interests that told you, hey, you can do this too.
You can do this too. He had a DJ he's on a DJ podcast. He does a DJ podcast. Then he started up a Crod Fist. It's a new thing. It's not Crov. And it's not CrossFist.
It's Crod Fist.
It's like what Bruce Lee did. He did his own thing.
Instead of one more rep, it's one more punch.
It's one more punch. It's he's doing a CrossFit podcast. So if it wasn't for Mo, I mean, honestly, we wouldn't be sitting here having these conversations right now.
Shout out to Mo.
So Mo,
One More Rep podcast.
If the one more rep pod, man, I cannot talk today. One More Rep podcast. Go check it if you're into CrossFit or you're into just fitness in general. It doesn't even have to be CrossFit.
Right.
Brody and Mo, One More Rep podcast. Go check those guys out. They are fucking crushing it. I mean, they over almost 10,000 downloads. I think they are hitting almost every continent, I think, except for Antarctica as far as downloads go. Number one.
What the hell, Antarctica?
I know, right?
Get on it.
Number one podcast
or polar bears
for CrossFit.
They're the number one.
I'm calling them the number one.
There you go.
Fuck it. What are you going to do? Tell me I'm wrong.
Change my mind. Fight me.
Yeah, fight me about it.
I know Crod Fist.
They are. I mean, the guys are crushing. I listen to them every week. I put their stuff out every week.
Share. How long does it take to click share on Facebook?
Really?
Instagram, Twitter.
Well, Instagram's a bigger pain in the ass, but how long does it take to...
I downloaded an app where literally I just hit a button, hit copy, and share.
Yeah, I mean, the repost thing works for Instagram, but it's a hell of a lot easier on Facebook.
Facebook is literally one button. Share now.
Share. You don't even have to type up anything. Just share.
Yeah, that's it.
Do the same thing for Buckhorn Podcast. Share.
Do it for all your friends.
For everything.
I'm going to go through some of my buddies, because you know what, I feel I owe
check out CrossFit Excess. If you're over in the Vidalia area, Troy, over in that area, check out CrossFit Excess. Check out Brody's Gym. If you're down in Lancaster, check out TrueFit Athletics. CrossFit.
Big shout out to TrueFit.
CrossFit TFA.
Actually, that's what brought us back together.
Yeah, that's what brought Randy and I back together to be able to do the podcast that we're doing now.
Fist, and now we're here.
I'm fucking fired up at this point.
You are. Let's
Jesus.
go.
If you're up in Canfield, go check out Jason Giannetti in Southern Park CrossFit. It used to be Speed Shop.
If you're in Hilliard, check out Endeavor.
If you're over in Hilliard, go check out Endeavor.
If you're in Westerville,
if you're looking
check out
for
Buckeye.
fitness, check out the Fit United. Get a hold of me. I will point you in a direction. Shit.
breathe. You need some more sponsors in your glass.
Something.
Here's the thing. You've even got a Black Rifle Coffee company
I got a Black
sticker
Rifle
on your
sticker
other cup.
on my cup.
You are plugging other companies for free.
I got a TFA sticker on my cup.
Guys, that's all we're asking. And that's all we're saying. Seriously, you should want to see others succeed. If you are the kind of person that has connections, and when I say connection, I mean, you know somebody that's, and here's the thing. When people come to me and they want me to buy some kind of a beard oil, because I have a beard and they're friends and they're trying to start some up. People come to me and want to do a weight loss thing. You see posts on Facebook all the time for Mary Kay, for Avon, you know what? If you don't want to buy, host a party for them.
Here's a really good example of a guy who started with nothing and came up. Doc Spartan Products.
Yeah, yes.
Dale King.
Amazing product.
Down in Portsmouth.
Yep.
The guy started with literally going from gym to gym with a product.
He's from Portsmouth.
And he's from Portsmouth. Military vet, started with nothing except for it was a kettlebell club, then it turned into a CrossFit gym. Started doing hand products, beard oils, soaps, and some other things. Got on Shark Tank, got backed by one of the sharks. Now I think he is actually out of the CrossFit games now.
Well, he's got to run a business.
He's the guy is fucking killing it.
Yeah. Check out Doc. Here's the thing with Doc Spartan. If you go, well, I'm not in fitness, I don't need cross.
Doesn't matter.
Here's the thing that kills me. And if you watched on Shark Tank, look it up. Look up Shark Tank Doc Spartan. They have this healing ointment cream that it was for torn hands. But if you get a cut or anything, you put this on there and it heals like 10 times faster than anything else on the market.
It's better than Neosporin.
It helps.
I keep tubes
It's better
of
for
it.
scarring. It's nuts.
I used it when I had my I lost my wedding rings.
Yeah,
I've lost 2 wedding rings. I went and had one tattooed on my finger because I just at this point there's no point in spending money because I just keep losing them.
The silicone one,
right?
It was like $20.
I just went and had one tattooed. I went and had it. I put it on my finger. The guy who did, shout out to Gunnar Gaylord, Art of Gunnar. He did my tattoo.
Where's Art of
both
Gunnar
of them. He used to be here in Lancaster.
Okay,
the guy has been featured. The Gunnar has been featured on all kinds. I mean, he's internationally known.
Awesome.
As a tattoo artist.
So he used your tattoo.
He used to be here. He was like, holy shit. He goes, your tattoos are healed up faster than. I'm like, I use this stuff called Doc Spartan. He's like, what? I've never heard of it. So I don't know if Gunnar is like telling them people to use it, but he's like, just put some Vaseline on it, it'll be fine. I'm like, oh, I've got this other stuff I'll use.
But see, because of that, you're helping this other business.
Right.
Because now a tattoo artist that's very well known is going to tell all his tattoo buddies, and that guy's Doc Spartan's going to grow because of what you did. And all it took was you going, oh, no, I use Doc Spartan instead of Vaseline.
Yeah.
Instead of this big, giant thing that doesn't really heal, it just keeps it moist.
Who gives a shit about Johnson & Johnson and their Vaseline? Their petroleum oil.
Crap. So, yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to my buddies at Thou Art. I've got tattoos there from Steve and Ben, so I might as well plug them over, plug in businesses.
Yeah. I mean,
Lancaster area, really anywhere in Central Ohio, Thou Art Tattoo Studio in Lancaster is hands down one of the best. Phenomenal artists there. Great prices. I want to plug Astute Technologies in Dublin. That is you got any problems with networking, with computers, setting up a business, web design, hit those guys up. I've shared them on my Facebook. I want to hit up, let's say Kaufman Media. My buddy Jason Aldo owns Kaufman Media. They do digital signage. They've done arena stuff. They've done work in Vegas. They have done the convention center downtown. Got this huge display board. Something like, I'm probably getting this wrong, and Jason will correct me, but it's like 60 feet wide or 100 feet wide, some ridiculous big video board. These guys are killing it in the sign game because they literally not only just install digital signage, but they run it. And this dude, we were supposed to have a poker night one night, and he said, guys, I got to cancel. I got to fly out to Atlanta tomorrow. And he literally on a Saturday woke up, flew to Atlanta, worked all day with the customer, caught a flight home, and got home sometime really late Saturday night or Sunday morning.
And kicked all your asses in poker.
No, because he missed the poker game.
Oh.
And he's not that good at poker. But he knows his signage and his advertising. Kaufman Media, Dublin, Ohio. Hit them up if you need anything with advertising. If you own a business and you need advertising. LeMaster Signworks in Circleville. They designed my logo. Gary does vehicle wraps. You want a semi-truck wrapped, a business van wrapped, a tool van wrapped. You want your Audi S5 wrapped in some dragon skin. LeMaster can do that.
No.
Yeah, maybe not the dragon. But unicorns.
Scales.
scales, dragon scales.
No, like actual
like music scales.
Well, that or just like judgment scales.
So yeah, hit up GW LeMaster. He's the one that I got all fired up about the LeBron thing. He's passionate. Man, I'm trying to think who else do I know that owns businesses. I know I'm going to forget somebody.
Well, I had my buddy Daniel from Hill Landscaping come out, and I told him, I'm like, here's my budget. This is what I want. This is what I need done. Don't give me the homie hookup. This is what this is my budget. This is what I do. This is what I'd like to have done. Can you do this within my budget? Absolutely. This is what I have the brick. I'm providing the stone.
You just need him to do
the flagstone. Is this can this be done within the budget? I'm not looking for a discount.
Right.
He's like, yeah. I said, okay, good, because the guy that I had come out here before told me it was going to be twice as much as he's only doing one half. And he's like, well, that guy's overcharging. I can do all of this for you.
For your budget.
Within your budget, yeah. Easily. No problem.
In your landscape, it looks great.
And Daniel came out and knocked it out of the park. I mean, so I get compliments. I get compliments on the front of my house weekly. Just like, the front of your house looks absolutely amazing. I'm like, call Daniel. Get a hold of Daniel.
I got a buddy that owns Mike's Landscaping out of Circleville. Shout out to Mike's Landscaping. They do residential and business. I got a guy, Mike Cessna, that owns My Auto Care. They are a mobile auto service. You need an oil change, they will come to you while you're at work and do it in the parking lot. You don't have to take it to their shop. And then the last one, I would say, my buddy Creek hit me up about knives and wants to help do a collaboration. So Willow Haven Outdoors, Creek Stewart. Check out a Pocket Box. It's a subscription box where you get some really cool survival tools. They also have Survival Skill of the Month Club. So Google Creek Stewart, Willow Haven. Guys, if you want us to promote your business, leave us a message. Leave us some feedback and promote ours. We will push your business for free.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know we've hit a lot of local businesses here, but
let's help each other.
Yeah, it's something that definitely chaps our cheeks. Yeah. The whole I come in here, we're best friends, and give me a discount on this. You can't knock 10% off of this. If you're truly friends, pay the full fucking price for the goddamn product.
My favorite's when somebody asks me for custom knives and I tell them what it'll cost, and they go, "Well, that's way too much," and I'm literally making $7 an hour.
Well, what did I tell you? What did I tell you about that cleaver? Make me that fucking cleaver.
I'll get there.
What did you tell me? Oh, I'm not making that cleaver. I'm like, you're making that fucking cleaver, but you never gave me a price. I just told you to make me the cleaver.
$4,000.
Whatever.
All right, done. I'm going to go buy a cleaver.
There we go.
It's mine. Here's a $20 Walmart cleaver.
That's fucking
$4,000.
All right. So with that, I know we've hit you with a lot. We will put all of this in the show notes. We will tag everybody. Links. We'll share the links. We'll get everything in there. I tried to write everything down as we were spouting them off, but make sure you share the show. If you have a comment, put it in iTunes, put it on Facebook. Don't just tell us in person. That's
like telling your buddy that has a band, I'll go to your show, but you never go to the show in 5 years.
Showing up. Just putting it in iTunes is like a big deal. Like that actually helps the algorithm for making us searchable. So that it shows up in other people's feeds that you're not friends with, we're not friends with. Put it in iTunes. Make sure that you're giving us a 5-star review on this. Give us some sort of review. I mean, honestly, give me something.
Hopefully, we make you laugh. I know
the
we're
show
here to share some joy and have some fun, man.
I know the show started out funny and then got kind of serious with the chapped our cheeks segment, but just share. Go back and listen to other episodes.
And we're on a better hosting service now.
Yeah,
so share it. Share the link.
Share.
We're going to be getting onto other. We're eventually going to end up here on Spotify and some other services.
I'm working on getting us on Spotify. We're going to move to Stitcher, iHeartRadio. I'm going to get on other platforms other than iTunes and Google. So share it. Share. I can't say share enough. I'm going to get to the point where I say share, where share isn't going to mean anything to me anymore.
Right.
It's like when, the kid's like, mom,
one of these days, somebody's going to share something and I'm just going to go, that's the guy I want. And I'm going to give him like $100 or something just because they've helped us out for no reason.
So,
they might do it now and try and win $100. I'm not guaranteeing that. That's not a promise. But like a gift card, like take them to dinner, I'll buy you habaneros.
He'll give you a salty blowhole.
I'm just gonna go. Oh man!
Anyway,
there's the comedy.
For Randy, I am Martelle, and this is the Buckhorn Podcast. We will talk to you guys later.
Love you all.
We are out.
Peace.